So it's great to welcome back the international fans and their verdict on that defeat, 3-2 defeat to West Ham. Without any further ado, let's go around the world.
Hey Dave, New York Wolves here. You're on our balcony in New York. We just had a meet-up in New York Wolves at McHale's. I know you like to keep these videos to 2 minutes, but it's starting to get very hard to say everything you need to say about a Wolves match in 2 minutes. But I'll try really hard. First half, some awful defending. West Ham went 3-0 up and deserved it, and you were starting to wonder, how many were they going to score? And on the flip side, we had a couple of decent chances. I think William did well that one instance where he had back to goal. I think it was even before West Ham scored. Back to goal, held off the defender, turned, got a shot off. Unfortunately, the shot went wide. I think that one incident there just sums up how William has been playing. So he needs to really work on that. But we had a few other chances, and we had moments where we looked a little dangerous. And then Dendoncker get us back into it. Great header from great Traore running cross. Finally, Traore gets his official assist. I still will argue till the cows come home that goal we scored against Leeds was an assist for him. I think it's ludicrous that he didn't get one for that, but that's a topic for another day. And then second half, I thought we looked a lot better. I think we were the better team. I think it always looked like West Ham had a goal in them, and thankfully, because of that handball from the VAR review, they didn't. And then Silva got his goal, which is great. Beautifully taken goal. Nice ball from Neto. Really good composure from Silva. And nice composed finish. I think that's what we want to see from him. And unfortunately, he kept up his habit of every time he scores, we lose the game, which is sort of another little typical moment from this season. So, you could always see West Ham throwing it away. They did it against Arsenal. You could see them throwing it away against us and us getting a point or maybe even more. But we couldn't quite get it done, which is a shame, because I think overall, especially on the second half performance, maybe we did deserve a point. But I think, going into the next 5 games is really crucial. We got Fulham on Friday, so thank you again to the Premier League for making us play in a ludicrously short amount of time. And then, Albion, Sheffield United, Burnley and Brighton. And you got to say, we need to win 2 or 3 of those. Typically, those are the games that we struggle in, but those are the worst teams in the league, and we need to pick up a couple of wins there. And then we got Everton, Tottenham and Man U. So don't be surprised if we win all 3 of those, having lost the previous 5. That's just a Wolves thing to do. So for me, it's a case of just see the season out. I think we're safe from relegation. A couple of more wins just to make absolutely sure of that, and then just forget it ever happened. It's been a nightmare year for everybody, and to be honest, football is the least important thing at the moment. But let's just forget this ever happened and move on to next season. I do want to mention I'm gutted for Johnny. That's just awful that he made such a great recovery and then boom, just does the same knee and an even worse injury. And also for Bolly, he'd just come back. He just started to get a good run together, and he's out. I'm not quite clear if he's got COVID or if he was on a plane with someone who got COVID. So, just a really crappy time right now. My perspective, like I said, let's just get a couple of more wins and finish the season strong and rebuild for next season. And I think we could be a dangerous force next season again if we do things right. So that's it. I will talk to you in a very few short days, thanks to the Premier League. Talk to you later.
Hi Dave, this is Matt from Berlin. It's been a while, but calling in after Wolves have lost again, 3-2 to West Ham, taking it 5 games without a win. When will this season end? It's terrible, it's grim. I think first off, let's pour out for Johnny, who's done his ACL again, same knee. It's bad news, isn't it? It's bad for him, it's bad for the club. I feel terrible. I hope he comes back stronger, but it's worrying that the same knee's gone again. Psychologically, it's a big thing to come back from. But yeah, all the best, Johnny. Hope you're feeling better soon. And then the back to the game. I mean, what have we learned? I mean, we've confirmed that Cody and Seiss cannot play in a 4 at the back. I think that's a big takeaway. The first 20 minutes of the game was shocking. I mean, we weren't terrible. I mean, terrible defending, but we weren't awful going forward. I thought we had some okay moments, but those 3 goals are something the Nines would be embarrassed about, to be honest. That 3rd goal, especially Lingard, having the freedom of the Wolves half, 9 players around him and not a single tackle. I think it's those moments that you really miss Moutinho. You know, he's got a bit of nasty about him, man. He'll take a yellow for the team, and none of the players were prepared to just get a bit dirty there, you know, and take him out. And I think the 4 in the back is the way to go, but we need reinforcements in the summer. You know, we need a good, strong centre half to play alongside Bolly. We need maybe another support in midfield to play alongside Duncan Neves. What the 3 at the back has done for so long, the 3-4-3, is it protects players. You know, it protects players who maybe aren't quite good enough, because you don't get isolated one-on-one. Whereas 4 at the back, 4-2-3-1, you get lots of one-on-ones and you have to win your duels. And I think what it's shown is that some of the players just aren't good enough. You know, and unfortunately, I think Cody might be in there as well. And I love the bloke; he's a great captain. But going forward, can he play 4 at the back? I'm not sure he can, to be honest. So it's going to be an interesting summer. To be honest, let's just get the season over with. You know, let's get it to end. It's been awful. So yeah, hopefully we beat Fulham, put it to bed any small, tiny relegation fears, and then we can look towards rebuilding in the summer.
Hello, Dave, fellow Wolves fans. Brian from Thailand. So we got beat 3-2 by West Ham last night. From a neutral point of view, it's probably an entertaining game from Wolves' perspective, especially those first 40 minutes defensively, and also, you know, midfield. It was dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Look at Lingard ramping his own half, ran up to the box. Cody followed Antonio across, left the space, 1-0. And soon after that, Lingard again in the corner, chipped it over Semedo. I think, in fact, Semedo put the ball across the forelands to stick the ball away, and then the 3rd goal was just criminal. 4 or 5 players chasing Lingard down. What's the cardinal sin? Take him down. He passed the ball in, boom, 3-0, although Rui might have done a little bit better. I know we got one back through then Doncaredda after Traore's run, and then Fabio Silva got number 2, but we couldn't get the 3rd goal, couldn't get the equaliser. We had a few chances first half. I know Podence hit the woodwork with the bar, Jose, dearie me, brought a save out, and Neto blasted wide, but no, it never happened for us. Good luck to Johnny and his recovery, although I fear the worst for him second time round. And going forward, next season you've got a big job to do, Nuno. You need a good strong centre half to play alongside Willy Bolly, because I don't think Cody can play in the back 4.
Hello Wolves fans, this is Dinny here in Cork. A lot of negatives coming out of last night's game for me. First of all, the team announcements with Johnny picking up the serious knee injury. That's going to be him out for a year, I think. It's a real punch in the guts for the guy on a personal level, and for the team in general. Real punch in the guts. Moutinho injured. That's not too much of a stinger for me, because I think he's kind of on his last legs anyway, Moutinho. And Bolly out with COVID. Hopefully he's going to be back soon and fit and healthy. So you've then Donker in midfield, slipping in there from Moutinho, and I don't think he did much. He was like paper mache for one of the goals. An old cynical foul here and there. The dark arts wouldn't go astray sometimes. They just went through him like he wasn't there. Up front, Wolves are like non-existent, even though they got 2 goals. What am I saying? At the back, those 2 centre backs, man, they might make a good championship centre half pairing. Saiss and Cody, they're not a Premier League centre half pairing. What am I saying? I know it's needs must, and Bolly was out and Johnny was out, and they had to probably patch the team together in the dressing room before kick-off, but it doesn't leave you with much hope, and it's kind of an indictment of Wolves, really. Like when Raul got injured, they were scratching around, scrambling, trying to get someone who could play up front. That shouldn't be happening in a Premier League team. Like, it just shouldn't, with all the money that's in the Premier League. You should have backups. I know they like to keep the side tight, like, but it's an indictment of Nuno, and it's an indictment of the team and the management of it in general. That now, like, once they lose a couple of players at the back, there's nothing holding them together back there. it's real distressing. Like, that's kind of it. Look, it's onwards and upwards to the Fulham game on Friday. Wolves have a good run of games coming up now. Hopefully they'll pull a few results and just finish the season on some kind of a high. For me, if they ended the season tomorrow with Wolves in the Premier League, like, I'm a Wolves fan a long time now, so Wolves are in the Premier League. That's the win. But I'd like to see them doing better. A couple of changes here and there, and they really, really could. So look, that's it. Dinny and Cork, onwards and upwards. We'll check back in again Friday after the Fulham game. All right, take care.
Hey Dave, Aidan Purcell checking in from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. It is a little bit after Wolves' disappointing performance against the Hammers today. I mean, I certainly wanted to be entertained, and that match certainly provided that. Unfortunate news right before kickoff about some of our injury situations with obviously Johnny, and we knew about Joao, and then obviously Willie Bolly unfortunately testing positive. So first and foremost, all the best to all those guys. Especially heartbroken for Johnny. He would have made a big difference today. That being said, I thought Aït-Nouri played well defensively. I mean, I'm sure you're going to have lots of people complaining about the defensive performance today, and I fully agree. Very likely with everything that they say. It just wasn't good enough. That being said, going forward, we weren't good enough either. We created chances, and the finishing was absolutely atrocious. You look at the stats after the match, I think we had something like 20 shots and 5 on target against their 9 and 6 on target, or something along those lines. The commentators were obviously waxing lyrical about West Ham, and rightfully so. They're playing very well. They finished very well. They attacked very well. Couldn't defend at all, but we couldn't finish at all. So certainly a frustrating match. Again, kind of a microcosm of the entire season. And to be honest with you, I just want this season to be over so we can move on, and hopefully, I imagine we'll stay safe mathematically. But it's been a very difficult year, and I hope we can finish it off soon. And I hope everybody's doing well, because it's been a trying year for all of us in the Wolves family. So hopefully everybody's staying safe and well. And I will check out from here, and I will chat with you guys soon. Cheers, all the best.
Hey Dave, Wolfman Jeff here in the office in Alabama. Just got home from work, kind of followed the game while I was at work, came home and watched the highlights, and yes, there were some things that were positive, certainly. First goals for Dendonka, finally. First assist for Traore, which was a long time coming. And I think one of the reasons for his first assist has to do with our lack of finishing, so it's not all on Adama. Thing I'm really most pleased with is the first goal in league for Fabio. So that was encouraging. Very discouraging. I felt like we surrendered before we got on the pitch, and that's as gutted as you and I were, as just horrible news about Johnny, and then to add on to it, I expected. João Moutinho was going to be out because I heard there were some issues in Portugal. And I suspected that maybe Bali was going to be the one who was in quarantine, but earlier reports made it sound like he was hopefully going to be available, and then found out that Bali now has COVID. So hopefully he won't be out too long, but I think we had the players there to work around João Moutinho. We clearly didn't have enough to compensate for missing both Johnny and missing Bali. So Nuno felt he needed to go back to a back four, and good on him for trying it. I don't think it worked. Yes, Dave, I know it got us more chances up front, but boy, we're leaking goals, and it's so frustrating. So the two problems with that is, one, our defense is just so disorganized in the back when we play the back four, and it throws off our midfield as well. So it's not just our back line. There's such a gap there with the midfield. And the second part with that problem is, yeah, we've got things front loaded, but we still have the problem of not having a quality finisher like we have with Raul. So if Raul was still there and if Bali was playing, then that would be a great formation because you could shore up the back line. You've got someone who could be there to really push that front. Obviously, Neto's pushing hard. Adama did better in the second half. But so what I was frustrated with is it took so long for Nuno to respond with that. Yes, we did see the change in the at the second half. It looked like it was planned to have Fabio come in for Pedence, and that was fine. And I was good with that. But it took, in my mind, it took way too long to bring out William Jose and bring in Vitinha. And what that does is it allows Dendonka to move back and play more defensive. And I personally, that's where I'm more frustrated with, is the lack of response. And I know Nuno didn't have the cards he wanted to hold on to, but just holding on to that back four, Dave, I think it really hurt us. We got lucky it was only 2-3. So onward, upward. Boy, it's just can't wait for the season to end. This is Wolfman Jeff.
Thanks to everyone that's contributed to this one. If you want to represent your area, please get in touch and we'll let you know. Please smash a like on the video. And until the next one, I'm Dazzling Dave. Always Wolves.